So women, when I'll speak for most women, when we do things like whether we go get our boobs done or we go put a bunch of makeup on our face, whatever, get weaves, we don't do it for men.
Hi, y'all. It's the Unfiltered Gems podcast. My name is Malcolm Alexander.
And I am Ryan Hale. What's going on?
I'm recording live. I just had a gig, and they were gracious enough to let me use their campus office. So I am coming to you live.
Tell us where you at.
I'm coming to you live from Cal State University, Northridge. Shout out to the Matadors. No, this
Bro,
is
the way the
Matadors.
way you said that. Why the way you said that? I thought a marching band was about to start coming out behind you or something.
Give it up for the Cal State University Northridge Matadors. Look, they hear. They hear, actually. No, if there's anything that I love about campus is that there is always free food around. You know what I'm saying? I did a little arts festival just now. Shout out to the kids. You know what I'm saying? I was playing some Saucy Santana. Material Girl, you know what I'm saying? Look, I know what the kids listen to, baby. You know what I'm saying? And it's funny. I remember when I left high school, and like a year after leaving high school, I said, wow, high schoolers look so young. And now I'm at the place of my life where I go to a college campus and I say, damn, college kids look so young. Like they are children. Yeah. I feel old when I come to a college campus now. It's very scary. It used to be a place that you come and it's like, you could be like, you know, in your mid-30s and come and look around and be like, okay, I'm still fitting it. You know what I'm saying? With maybe the upper grads, not the undergrads. But I'm like, y'all are some children.
Now it's like we can't fit in. They
I
would
can't.
know.
No, it's obvious.
Stick out.
It's obvious, man. It is too obvious
like,
right now.
Who the old dude in the back?
Yeah.
Hey, wait a minute.
Wait a minute. Hey, I'm not old, dog. I am just
I'm
not
seasoned.
your age. I'm seasoned. Okay, I'm experienced. Some might say grown and sexy. I feel like I can't even do grown and sexy till I'm 40. So I got a little bit of time for that. I can't be grown and sexy yet.
We gotta wait on that.
Like I feel age. If I'm like, yeah, I'm grown and sexy. If I said that to a kid, I'd be like, damn, nigga, I'm old.
I sound old.
I sound old as hell. Well, fam, yes. You know, I had to change the scenery. Got my ring light. Got everything all hooked up over here. We have an incredible show for you today.
Yeah.
Boy, do I get to tell you. We're going to talk about a lot of things. We even have a special guest coming up later on in the show. Should we tell the people like what we're talking about? Do we tease them? Give them a tease? No, let's give them a tease.
We can.
Let's give them a tease.
We're talking about a lot of good stuff today.
We're talking about a lot of good stuff. So I don't want to pull the whole thing out, but I'm like, they're going to see in the show notes by the time we post. So y'all, some of y'all might notice that some of your favorite celebrities, their faces are changing drastically. So we're actually talking about beauty standards. Maybe some of those patriarchal, pressured beauty standards that are placed onto young women. And here's the thing. I did not want our ugly mugs going back and talking about it. Even though I'm a beautiful motherfucker, I needed a woman to help out. So, got my girl London Winter. She's going to stop by, okay? Makeup artist for the stars. Just saying, okay? Hale was adamant before we recorded. He's like, I think I can handle this. Because, you know, Hale's an authority in beauty. And I said, Hale, I just want to bring on one other person.
Hey,
so,
beauty's in the eye of the beholder, is what they say. So, hey, in some weird way, we're all authorities. If you really break that down.
He goes, if you really look at it, I, too, am a pageant queen. I, too, am Miss USA.
I too do makeup on my bed every morning.
This face beat just to perfection. So yeah, stick around, y'all. We have some of that, and then we're just gonna get into some of these happenings, as y'all already know how we do throughout this whole week, because this has definitely been a week. This has been a week. And with our first story, I just can't wait to dive into it. So let's go ahead and run it, as I said, live from C-Sun. Hell, you ready to get this party started?
Yeah, let's get it.
Let's do it. Unfiltered Gems podcast. You already know what it is. My name is Malcolm Alexander.
And I'm Ryan Hale.
All right, man, let's go ahead and get into these stories. This has been a wild week, and we have been so excited for do you call it the sentencing? The hearing?
Yeah, the sentencing.
The sentencing of of Jussie
legal eagle.
Of Jussie Smollett. Let's start off by running the audio because oh my God, we need to paint the picture. For those that do not know, Jussie Smollett of Empire fame comes from a long line actually of actors and singers and performers in his family. You guys might be familiar with his sister, who was on the hit TV show that, quite frankly, the culture deserves to do better for, Lovecraft Country. But this is just a clip from the sentencing of actor Jussie Smollett.
Restitution to the city of Chicago in the amount of $120,106. You are fined $25,000, which is the maximum fine, and you will spend the first 150 days of your sentence in the Cook County Jail, and that will start today, right here, right now.
No, I would just like to say to Your Honor that I am not suicidal. That's what I would like to say.
Okay.
I am not suicidal.
Okay.
I am not suicidal. I am innocent, and I am not suicidal. If I did this, then it means that I stuck my fist in the fears of Black Americans in this country for over 400 years and the fears of the LGBTQ community. Your Honor, I respect you and I respect the jury, but I did not do this, and I am not suicidal. And if anything happens to me when I go in there, I did not do it to myself.
All right. There's a lot to pick apart here. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Bro, I was really trying not to laugh, bro.
Okay, no. Okay. Let me get the jokes out the way first, because damn it, I need the jokes. I'm sorry. If I did this, I stuck my fist into the fears.
What the judge said, okay.
Okay. Dog!
Bro, oh God, I feel terrible.
Bro, no, when I tell you, I felt so bad when I laughed at that.
Gosh.
Because, when everybody else knows that you full of shit except you. And so I just really want to, applaud my brother Jussie for sticking to it. I want to applaud him for sticking to it. This is better than his role on Empire. This is a better performance, far better performance. And I just want to big up my brother. If you want to come on for the gyms anytime to continue on.
He's not going to come on after that.
What? No, he would. Because I believe, free my nigga Jussie. Straight up,
bro.
Free him.
He not believes. He says that he's innocent.
Yes, and I believe him.
No, you don't.
I do. Hell, I'm being serious, Hale. I believe him. I'm not disagreeing with you just for the sake of entertainment on this podcast here.
You really think he's innocent now?
Yes, obviously.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do. I believe he is innocent.
No, you don't.
No, because in Trump's America at the time when it happened, there were the maggots running around doing salacious things to black folk. And I think Jussie is a victim to that in the city. It happened in Chicago, right? We remember the story about he left set 3 a.m., went to go get a Subway sandwich instead of having on his way back.
When you gonna stop lying?
But that's what happened. That's what happened. That's what happened.
Talk about you.
Oh, okay.
No, good. Dang well, you don't believe that he is innocent,
man.
You know that. I feel bad for him. I do. 5 months in jail for anybody would just be too long for me. I couldn't do it.
And so here's where it's man, okay. I want to keep the joke going, but okay, y'all, it's clearly obvious. If y'all know anything, y'all can go look up the case. I ain't even going to give y'all the rundown of the case front to back. Y'all know what it is. Reader's Digest version is basically this man fabricated a story. He said that he left late one night out of a Chicago hotel room. I think he said he went to a Subway or a 24-hour restaurant. I'm pretty sure it was a Subway to go get. It was Subway, right? To go get get some food, get a snack late at night, and on his way back. No, it was there. On his way there or back?
I forget. One of the two.
Well, because we never saw the Subway sandwich, so I want to say it was on his way there, not. I want to say it was on his way there. He said that he was jumped by two white men. Didn't he say white men or thugs?
I can't remember what he said originally, but it came out that it was two black guys.
No, it was two black guys, and one of them You know the story.
And they knew him beforehand.
Knew him beforehand. Were friends with him. One of them said that they had a relationship. It was a scheme, and that he had a sexual relationship with him. So, y'all, like, there's way too many holes in this. Y'all know me defending the case, man. It's out of jokes, man. I really wish I could defend him, but I do applaud him for all the evidence being against you. And like TikTok say, I'm a stick beside him. He's sticking beside the lie. I'm entertained. That he is. I mean, go ahead.
I definitely believe that he was guilty. But I can't lie. After watching that video, it was like, dang, man, did he? Had me second guessing. Yeah. Had me want to go relook at the case again. Like, man. Did he?
No, because he said it was conviction. I'm sorry. If I am lying, I just want to know, like, what do you get off of lying this long? Like, he's going to get out of jail. He's going to pay his $25,000 fine. He's going to get out, and he's going to go around, like, he going to go to the cookout, telling us, like, nah, man, like, I really didn't do it.
The way he was looking in that video or the way he was sounding, it looks like he might.
Like he is.
And now they've got people literally saying free Jussie. Now, I get his family saying that. Okay, I get that. But then Taraji P. Henson came out, said something about it, that he doesn't deserve to be in jail. Yeah. Nobody will even hire him. That's punishment enough.
Well, like, I will say it is interesting because it's like I'm trying to find another case to, like, draw comparison to something like I don't this even know before, right? You know, and I think what we know from this past week, right? A Capitol rioter, one of the key proponents, got footage all over. He gets half the time. You know what I'm saying? And I think that maybe I would say I don't think he deserves a jail time off of the fact that someone can storm a Capitol and get half the time.
True. Or I would say that somebody who storms the Capitol should deserve years in prison and not just days.
And
so maybe the Jussie,
I would agree with.
Accurate.
I don't know. There's a part of me that hates to see Journey, his sister, in the courtroom, like just defending him. I'm like, oh, baby. But you got to stick by family. Yeah. And I hope that he's in jail. I hope he's going to be okay. And on a very serious note, before we move on, I do just want to say I'm laughing more at I stuck my fist in the fears of Black America or the LGBTQ plus community. I'm not laughing at the proclamation that he's not suicidal, because it is incredibly very, very, very scary, and it was very sobering. And I can't lie, like I was, when I first saw that clip, I was like, I had the laughter in me from what he said, but then to say that he's not suicidal and make that proclamation in a time where we know that Black gay youth, Black trans youth, people, not just Black people, can go missing or can be found dead in jail more oftentimes than what is actually reported.
Correct.
And so that was really sad for me to hear, but also incredibly powerful because if something were to happen, Black people are not allowed to clear their name or to control their narrative when it comes to something like that. And so I am sincerely praying over him. I'm praying over his family. And I look forward to the Lifetime original movie about this entire debacle. Who would you want to play Jussie Smollett? And we're going to move on after that.
I'm not doing this with you.
I'm serious. Who do you want to play?
You just said so eloquently how we are not laughing at this man being suicidal. You say all that good stuff, then talk about a Lifetime documentary.
So who is going to play him in the documentary?
I have no idea.
Okay. All right. It's fair enough. All right. Guys, got to move on. We got to talk about somebody is this Love and HipHop fame?
Yeah, I guess it is, huh? I forgot he was on Love and HipHop.
Yeah, we talking about Stevie J, y'all. He had an interview with who is this young lady's name? Her name is Leah, I want to say is her name.
Yeah, Leah Henry, I believe.
Leah Henry. He was being interviewed over the weekend until I was going to say allegedly, but no, it's very obvious what's happening. Stevie J, I'll run y'all some audio, is live on camera just getting some head, getting some head.
I know what I said.
Yes.
So I want to talk about it because it was really good, and I was happy that you addressed a lot of. Well, honestly, you addressed everything. I really appreciate the fact that you decided to do that. So in the very beginning, speaking of reality TV, one of the things that stuck out to me is when you said that I was real on Love and HipHop because of the fact that I'm gonna be me at 100 all the time. And you talked about in the first couple of scenes, the first few years that you were walking because you didn't have a car. Why was it important to you with all the fame? All
That
the
is
success that
so
you had at that
weird,
time,
dog.
being
I know y'all are hearing this and y'all can't see it. But my man, Stevie J, pulls the camera down and you literally see a whole girl's head just bobbing for apples, as we'd say in the low country.
See, I didn't see that part. I saw the clip where she was talking about how, oh, I see a hand. I see somebody's hand in there. I didn't know it was a clip where he literally showed her head.
No, like you see the girl's head. Like
Oh my goodness.
just see the girl's head. So I'm over here seeing it still on my phone. So let me chill that off. Hell, my question to you is this a form of sexual harassment? Because this just doesn't sit right. And clearly my man's is in over his head and is just clearly Stevie J. I mean, what didn't he's the one that had the sex tape with Mimi. Like, we know this man is just a goon for attention. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people from that Love and HipHop camp are, right? But young lady here, young queen, Leah Henry, gives a man platform. We can already say, we don't have to talk about or ask the question of whether or not this is professional or not, right? It's just disgusting to do an interview and then be getting oral favors while it's happening. Is this, I want to toe the line here, is this a form of sexual harassment?
It might be, to be honest, the more I think about it. Because not only was that going on, I mean, even the way the interview started off, why you got your shirt off in an interview? Why are you laying in the bed with your shirt off in a professional interview? Like, it wasn't like this was a surprise to you. It's not like she one of your best friends that just hit you up last minute. Like, this is an interview. Your people told you about this. This was scheduled way ahead of time, probably. So this is something that you got to be professional for, just like you would be in any other professional interview when you're getting interviewed on TV for a movie, whatever the case may be. So to me, I think that he probably he showed he didn't care. He probably cared less, which is sad, but he probably cared less because the person interviewing him was a woman, and he just felt like he had the upper hand and he could just take advantage of the whole situation. There was one part in the video where he like has the camera towards his abs or something like that, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, you're a distraction," or blah blah. And she was like, "Can you move the camera up?" And he was like, "Oh, where you want me to move the camera to?" Like, he think this is like some kind of flirtatious situation.
Yeah,
like, bro, you're in an interview. Like, this is not how that works.
And it's obvious, dude. You would not do that if a man was interviewing you. You wouldn't be doing that. Like, and I know we say that so factually and so matter of fact, but it's true. If a man was interviewing you, if motherfucking Charlemagne was interviewing Stevie, he would not be sitting here with his shirt off talking in that kind of way. And like, that's what we talk about, y'all. This kind of, when we really talk about like respect for women, man, I promise y'all, this kind of shit is why it's not performative right here. Because it's a double standard. You know damn well a man would not be doing that if he was being interviewed by another man. And like, 100%. It's disgusting. Y'all know normally I got big jokes, but just when it comes to like a sincere amount of disrespect for just like a woman who's trying to do her damn job, you know what I'm saying? And you justifying that, as flirting or whatever it is. You already know how we feel about cancel culture and all that kind of shit, but I think something really got to happen. Like, somebody has to bring Stevie J to the forefront here and like really air out the dirty laundry. Because like that kind of behavior just has no place, man. That's just some weird.
I would love to see
you
him.
A weirdo for that.
Yeah, I would love to see him getting called out in the next interview he does.
Yeah,
by somebody just taking all their questions out that they had prepared and just literally talking about why he was such a jerk and so unprofessional in that situation. Like, that's just ridiculous in my opinion. And it makes me more mad that people were even attacking the journalist, the person interviewing him, saying like, oh, maybe she should have cut the interview off sooner and things of that nature. Malcolm, obviously we both went to journalism school, so we both know how to conduct interviews and what may or may not happen during an interview. So I'll just ask you, would you have cut that interview short, or do you feel like she was in the wrong at all for anything? Or
I would have cut the interview when my man's would have what he would have answered if I would have said of this, and if he would have started the interview with no shirt on, and this is also not saying anything to Leah. To Miss Henry,
this is not right. This is not a knock on her.
Exactly. This is not a knock on her. If you want to come on here and air out what happened, how you feel with the Unfiltered Gems platform, please do, honey, and you're more than invited to. We'd love to have you. I, as a journalist and as someone who's asking a question, ain't no way in hell I would have kept going. If he would have answered, talk about, hey, how you doing? Chest out, nigga, I would have been like, you gonna put a shirt on? And not be in a sensual ass position on your bed before I can ask you this line of questioning. I wouldn't even continued on. It's just weird. And it's one thing, I'm not saying that a man with his shirt off is not worthy of being interviewed. It's different. If we were at the beach, I would not be asking you, hey, put a shirt on.
Right. Exactly.
We're at the beach or we're out working out. If we're doing workout, like, it's nothing against that, but it's like you're just a big weirdo for doing some shit like that. And I'm not one to kink shame, but ain't nobody should be around here wanting to be interviewed while they getting head. You're just a weirdo.
Yeah, that's just a little too far.
Yeah,
and Malcolm, I'm sorry. I really appreciate you saying that. And as a woman in the industry, when we do interviews and things like that, I think the expectation put on us as women is we're supposed to put up with. Like when somebody does something like that we have to just kind of get in where we fit in and get on with it because professionally we're supposed to continue this. Yeah. And we should be allowed, and it should be normal for us to be like, you know what? Go ahead. When you're finished getting dressed, I'll give you a call back and we'll start this. But we're not told that as women. We just have to like, well, he had a shirt off, so doesn't matter. You still got to do the interview. Like that's how we're conditioned. So I appreciate you saying that.
I mean, and again, and it's just real. You know what I'm saying? It's just real. And I feel like there's a certain place for men like that in society. Clearly today, a lot of what we're talking about is, relationship between men and women and these pressures or maybe double standards that people put on women as opposed to men. And so I think this is a good transition point for what is to come here after this quick break. Because when we come back, I don't know if some of you have been noticing that some of our favorite singers still just as beautiful. Let me not say that they're not beautiful. But they're just starting to not look like themselves. And as two men, we would be remiss if we do not include women when it comes to a conversation around beauty standards, especially as it pertains to standards that are placed and probably birthed from the consumption of men or the consumption of women by men. Y'all feel what I'm saying? And so coming up after the break, I'm bringing on my sister, London Winters, who is going to have a really cool conversation with us about surgery and natural looks when it comes to women as it relates to one of our favorites, just noticeably looking different, and we're talking about SZA. So we're going to take a quick break, and after the break, more Unfiltered Gems. Love is in the air, y'all.
Is it though? You'll be the judge as you watch our new 3-episode dating special premiering in February.
I've been shooting my shot in the DMs lately. Losing battle.
We are getting into the good and probably the bad of dating. It's going down exclusively on the Unfiltered Gems podcast YouTube channel.
So learn your ladies' way of communicating.
Trust me, you don't want to miss it.
Unfiltered Gems, it's the podcast. You already know what it is. It's your boy, I'm Malcolm Alexander, of course, joined by
Ryan Hale. What's going on?
And y'all, a conversation that I'm just so super excited to have today. I need y'all to give it up for our esteemed guest on the podcast, hailing all the way from my home county of the IE, even though Inland Empire is not a county, but it's it's a territory, it's an area. Whole lot of gang activity on the IE. We appreciate.
Hey, don't do us like that.
I know. You're right about that, y'all.
What an introduction!
I know. What an introduction! Wow. Give it up for our pimp, young gangster. No, y'all. Let's see. Amazing mother, phenomenal MUA makeup artist to the stars and beyond. Incredible entrepreneur. You've seen her walk runways as a pageant authority, of course, turning that into then coaching, not just like, of course, I can walk and talk it, but now she can like teach it. And it's, London, I don't know what it is that you don't do, but if there's things that I know that you do incredibly well outside of curation and coaching for young women, it is also beating a damn face. So, of course, if y'all are subscribed on YouTube, you can see her beautiful face. You know what I'm saying? She got a beat enough for me, Ryan, Sarah, everybody listen, she got a beat enough on her face for that. So thank you so much, Miss Mama London Winters.
Thank you so much for having me. When you read out my resume like that, I'm like, oh, like I did that. But I mean, it's been a while. I was like, wait, when did I do that? But no, thank you. I appreciate it, and I'm excited to be on here with you guys.
100%. I've just been lucky enough to see the journey from a young age. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even throw in dancer. Yes. Yeah, I know. I didn't even throw in dancer, girl. You know you dancing.
You could throw that one right back out.
Singer. Look, girl got that. Pipes. We can keep singer. We can
keep that. Don't know about dancing.
Oh man. No, man. Well, thank you so much for coming on. It was such a last minute thing, but I hit her this morning, y'all, because as we talked about before the break, we want to have an objective conversation around beauty standards and about maybe women's empowerment as it pertains to the entertainment industry, because I think time and time again, we keep opening our Instagrams, opening up our feeds, and we see some of our favorite people. Maybe they might be looking more beautiful, but they just slowly are not looking like themselves. And I don't mean that they're sick, but I just mean that, like, I'm looking there, I'm like, that's not your face. Like, what happened? And, if me and Ryan, just two dudes, go back and forth about this, I feel like the conversation goes nowhere. So I needed to bring on an authority, not just in makeup and women's appearance, but also in just divine femininity and in beauty, and that is you, London. So I wanted to know, in the wake of just this past week, and of course we tease this for those listening, we take our Instagram, and I'm like, yo, like, my girl SZA is not looking like herself, and I don't know where to start my line of questioning other than to maybe, one, ask your thoughts, London, and two, why?
Okay. Yeah. You know, it's funny. I wouldn't have known. Now, I love SZA, don't get me wrong. But
me as well.
I'm not someone who actively follows her. So just looking at her, I personally wouldn't have known she got surgery or got anything done with her face until I looked at her before. It's like I went back in time, like, 2014, 2015. I'm like, damn. I would have said SZA, the way she looks now, is who SZA is, and whoever that person is, hey, that's not SZA. But to be honest, it could be a plethora of things. One, she could have just hired a really good ass makeup artist. Now, sometimes that does happen, because I can easily say how I looked in high school, I look nothing like it now, but I never got a stitch of work done. It's just simply I know how to utilize my makeup brushes and my makeup properly. But in her case, I do notice the shaving down of the chin. I do notice maybe her nose looks a little smaller, and maybe even something around the eye area. But needless to say, I'll ask you guys, do you think she looks better now, or do you think that she looks better before?
Ooh, hell, I'm going to defer to you first.
That's a tough question. I would probably say before. It's not that she looks bad now. And this is kind of going off the conversation that me and Malcolm had that kind of started this whole conversation. I'm just big on natural beauty, just being authentic. So to me, I just thought that she was more authentic in her music and in her looks before. So now I can definitely see the changes. You broke it down very eloquently. I would have never known it was a shaving of a chin or a nose or anything like that. But she definitely looks different now. So to me, she looked better back then, in my opinion.
Okay.
And I would echo that, and probably to Ryan's point, just like the natural. I think it's like it's hard because I feel like I see beautiful black women. I can't say beautiful black men so much because I don't see a lot of like black men go under the knife and be like, you changed yourself, beautiful black king. I don't see it from the men, right? I see it from the women, and and as you said, London, like I saw it around the eyes. I saw like the chin. We in like the field of rhinoplasty, I think they call it like the ponytail facelift. You know what I'm saying? Like I see Doja getting it. Like Janet, like I watched that doc. Janet doesn't look like herself, and of course that's a lot more extreme surgery, and it's incredibly obvious in that regard. But maybe the reason it hurts me and the reason it kind of messes me up is because it's like, dog, you was born this way and you was plenty beautiful before. You know, it's one thing. I know people that have like had a nasal issue or literally cannot smell properly, so they had to get like a nose reconstruction surgery. That's totally different. Do what you got to do, but like, why beat up what was already very beautiful in the first place? Maybe that's my question.
Right. And I think too, it's like you guys both like were very honest with that, and I could agree. I feel like she did look essentially just as good then as she does now. But I
Totally.
will say that I think like it comes to a certain extreme, right? So let's say Kylie Jenner, right? Now, I'm just truthfully speaking, nobody was really checking for Kylie pre face. I don't even want to say surgery because it's technically not surgery. A lot of it could be fillers, a lot of it could just be Botox, whatever. Um, but in her case, like no one was really checking for her when she looked like she did back in high school. Now she's a billionaire, and I know that has a lot to do with one, her looks, two, how she's kind of entered into the makeup world from getting surgery. So I think that it just kind of stems from like what societal standards are. Because to be fair, we don't really know what exactly made SZA, I guess, change her face. Because put it this way, I like the way I look. So I personally wouldn't touch my face, but I haven't been in the shoes of someone who doesn't like how they look. So I can't tell someone, you know, don't go do something just because I wouldn't. I don't feel that way. It's like, for example, right? Like the car you drive. I know it's kind of hard to compare the two, but like you would probably prefer to drive something that's to your liking. Like you want something maybe that's like fast, loud engine, whatever the case is. But maybe there's somebody that just wants a quiet ass electric car. It's really just preference. And I think that the way everything is kind of going now, it's almost like you can't judge someone for changing their face because damn near everybody has gotten something done. Like even the ones that you guys think are natural are not natural. But again, guys, I won't say all guys, but most men won't even notice. Like the ones that you think are the most natural are actually the complete opposite. There's still things
Yeah.
that women get done you just would never know.
Yeah. And I think we see it because, you know, and I always hate to burst Ryan's bubble because Ryan, look, I'm not putting your business out there, but like,
sounds like you are.
but as I'm about to just air it out. No. But I'm glad, right? As much as I want to, as much as I would love to joke with you right now, I'm serious, right? But like, you'll send me be like, oh man, she looks really cute, right? And I noticed that me and Ryan have like similar but complete opposite taste. Where Ryan, I would like to think that you like the Instagram looking girls, right? Like you like, you know, slim, thick, you know, like the face. It is sweetie, it's Karuchi, it's like all those girls and beautiful women, right? But I just noticed that they all look like the same kind of Instagram. It's the same face to me, right? And you know, you might send me a photo, and I'm not saying this happens all the time, but like I'll say like, man, look at the work, and you'd be like, what do you mean the work, right? And I feel like that's slowly what started peeling us and opening up this conversation for us when Ryan's like, nah, she didn't get work done, and then we kind of said receipts of like, nah, she definitely got a little bit of work done. And maybe I can speak for both Hale and I, where it kind of is a little disheartening for us men, and I know that we're not all men, right? We're the exception of maybe we want you to be as natural as possible in a culture that is bent off of men loving a fabricated Kim Kardashian-esque aesthetic, right? So then my question is like, what is surgery or body modification or even makeup in this age of hyper feminine empowerment, right? Now more than ever, it's International Women's History, or International Women's History. It is International Women's Month, right? We're here to celebrate women. So how can we celebrate women while we also see women like change up all of what's happening? I think, or like, is it a double-edged sword in some way?
Well, okay, so so in terms of natural, what do you guys mean by natural? Do you mean makeup natural, or do you mean as far as like aesthetic, like all of like everything natural, face, body, like what is natural to you guys, I guess? Because it's natural could be like, for example, I may think that I'm natural, but I have makeup on.
Yeah.
I don't look like this. You know what I mean? Like I have a little bit of makeup on, but as far as like surgery, I don't have surgery. Like I didn't get my boobs done. I didn't get my face done. So I think if we determine like what natural is for some people, I think that can probably answer the other question as far as like what's not. You know what I mean?
I would say for me, like natural And oh man, hey, I'm gonna take your man's, hell. I'm gonna take your man's. To quote Aubrey Graham, sweatpants, hair tied, chilling with no makeup on. That's when you're the prettiest. I hope that you don't take it wrong. I'm gonna equate Aubrey, and I do understand that there's a spectrum. I will say for me subjectively, I like when a woman can wear as little and not to say don't wear makeup, right? Because I do understand the empowering part of, I call it like the lipstick journey, right? Of like a young girl learning her first lip color and all that kind of stuff. I understand that in a long line of women, right? Beating your face is a form of self-love, of self-care. I think it's beautiful, the beauty ritual. Men need their own beauty rituals, quite frankly. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if it's going to be makeup based, but just like ways to show themselves self-care. So natural for me subjectively is going to be as, I guess, not a lot of plastic surgery by any means, unless it is something that like, hey, I have to do this little thing after pregnancy or after this for my own self image, right? For my own confidence. But then I don't think I'm attracted to like the girls with like incredibly pointy, perfect boobs, because it's clear I don't think boobs are made that way, right? Like when the ass looks like an obvious BBL, and it's just like ass, it looks nice, it's aesthetically pleasing. I will look, but it's like I can just tell, and so I think it's, to me, it screams like a little, I don't know, it's like hard for me because it feels a little fake. It feels like I'm like falling for something that's not exactly real. Somebody that's natural to me. I don't know.
Right.
If you can add to that.
No, I mean, I'm echoing the same sentiments because I definitely agree. That's what I would say is natural as far as just natural beauty and not a lot of like plastic surgery or anything like that done. That's the biggest thing for me, especially kind of going off of this conversation, just going back to SZA as an example. To me, I think before she got the surgery is when I would consider her quote unquote natural, in my opinion. So it's just as little surgery as possible to me is the more natural, in my opinion.
And also, this is not us advocating and saying what we think women should do. Like, and I think that's why it's hard, right? Like, we had to bring you on because I'm like, I don't want me and Ryan just sitting here like, women, stop getting plastic surgery. Like, because there's so many exceptions, right? There's so many exceptions. And as you said, like, if you're unhappy, like, I know plenty of women who, like, they did not like their breast. They didn't. They thought they were small. They were like, I don't want A's. Give me something more. And they went, titties look great. And I'm like, go for it if that makes you feel stronger. I think what's scary is seeing this happen. And I think there's an expectation that young men are going to have on women to look a certain way that is just not natural, right? It only comes after copious amounts of surgery. And so I guess I'm trying to circumnavigate where is women's empowerment and where is it just a little too far, to the point that we're kind of just going to screw up our young men. We're going to screw up expectations of young women. I see young women have to, look to aspire to look like a SZA, a Doja, a Cardi, like insert all these women who we know. And this is not, let me make this point, this is not to make any lesser of them or to reduce them in any of their accomplishments, any of their femininity, and any of who they are. But you're going to have young women, teenagers, look at these women and say, I want to look like her. And baby girl, like, the only way that you're going to look like her is if you go get a permanent filter on your face or on your body.
Right. And you know what? I think too, so it's like, so women, when I'll speak for most women, when we do things, like whether we go get our boobs done or we go put a bunch of makeup on our face, whatever, get weaves, we don't do it for men, right? We do it for ourselves, because I know when I go get my lashes done, I'm not thinking, damn, I hope Michael likes my 15 millimeter lashes when I get them on. You know what I mean? It's like, I do it because it's easier. I know that strip lashes are just harder to put on versus getting my lashes done. So it's like, there's a lot of things that women understand that men just simply won't. And I think that sometimes they get it misconstrued with thinking that we're trying to be something that we're not, but it's just like, these are things that a lot of women just simply like. And then I think too, there's a difference between being natural versus being organic. I think, you know what I mean? So it's like someone who is completely a la carte, no makeup, no, hair extensions, things like that. To me, that is completely organic. Versus me, I would, in my mind, I would like to say I'm natural, because I don't go out and get certain procedures done. However, my hair isn't naturally this long. I have decent hair, but it's not this long. Again, I don't wake up and look like this. I look different, but I would like to say I'm a natural beauty. I just like to enhance my features when need be. And for example, right, Cardi B, we could all say her teeth were not the best before she got a bag and fixed her teeth, right?
Sure.
But her teeth look way better now than they did before, and that would be considered surgery.
Yeah.
Right? Everybody would have made fun of her before because her teeth were throwing up gang signs. But now that she has straight teeth, I think even cosmetics, when you get implants, when you get crowns, veneers, whatever, that is a cosmetic procedure. Like when you go to the doctor and you try to look it up, it's not even covered for insurance because it's cosmetic. It's something to enhance what you look like.
Yeah.
But it's just teeth, right? Getting them whitened, that's cosmetic. So I think when we say, like, I guess we just have to be careful in how we word things, because even, like, for example, like, who ideally would you find, like, super attractive, right? Like, for example, maybe Janae Aiko. She's considered, like, a earthy beauty, but she's not organic. She's for sure probably had, maybe not work done, but it's like, she did not look like that, you know, probably before, or she doesn't look like that when she wakes up. I don't think any woman on their Instagram looks like how they do when they wake up. You know, I can't speak for most IG models, but I mean, I can tell you probably a scoopful of them don't look like that. But does it? I think the problem too is that why does it bother a lot of men? Like me personally, I already know I would not get it done, but I don't see why it would bother men so much, because I won't say you guys, but men like that. Those are the women you follow. Those are the pictures that you like. Those are, you know, when you talk about girls with big booties and, you know, nice bodies, stuff like that, that's what you guys lust for. You guys are not lusting for women that unfortunately are shaped like flat, right? Like, which is what most women look like. Not everyone is super curvaceous. Not everyone has, you know, boobs sitting up to the sky. A lot of women go and get those things done because that's what men want to see. But then they'll turn around and say they want something natural, but they don't, because they'll go and chase after something that does not look like anything that they've said they wanted before. Am I wrong?
No, you're not
wrong.
You're not wrong.
Okay.
Right.
Read us. Read us.
Hey.
Yeah. You know, it's just what I see. Like, I think people could talk about Sweetie all day, but if Sweetie was knocking on somebody's door right now, I don't think you guys would close the door in her face. Then you probably give her a seat on the couch, maybe.
I would. I would slam the door on
Ryan
her.
would marry you.
What do you need?
It was right there on the spot.
He said, "What do you need? Could I get you anything?" No, but
He's so hospitable.
yeah, exactly. I ain't never crashed. I ain't never been invited to Ryan's house a day in my life. Sweetie gonna show up to the door. Hey,
So
you need this beautiful couch here? I got an ottoman for you. No, London, you bring a really good point. So maybe if I were to, I don't know what to call it, devil's advocate anymore, right? But I'm here just to kind of keep it going. And this might be my last question. Then I feel like it's kind of hypocritical, right? Because you just said, well, we don't get that stuff done for guys, but then we're the ones liking the stuff, and you're saying that we wouldn't give a damn otherwise if you didn't look like that. So I feel like it's a little hypocritical. This hyper feminine, this age of like, well, empowerment, which I think is also translating to like, well, be empowered as a woman to look any way that you would like to. That makes you as a woman feel confident, right? Regardless of what it means for a man. But are these beauty standards not rooted or fabricated in what men like and not what women like?
Yeah, it's true. So when I say that, I mean, like, for example, right? Like, I don't go out and put on makeup because a man would like it. They just happen to like the fact that I had on makeup. You see what I mean? It's like, for example, if I were to go on a date right now and a guy complimented me like, wow, you look so beautiful. Like, thanks. I got beautiful for myself. You just so happen to like
Got it.
what I like, I guess, you know, essentially. But I do see what you mean too. I think it is kind of like a double standard. Like, I don't know. It is kind of hypocritical. Like, we don't do things for men, but y'all like it. You like what we do, right?
Yeah.
So it is hard to say, but like even women, like we could say we have our preferences too, right? I think it's just like, for example, men when they grow beards. A lot of women like beards, some women don't. But you know the what is it? Not beard fishing, but you know when a dude looks really different without his beard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
ooh, grow it back. But
Me as
I
hell.
mean,
Read me, London.
yeah,
It's
like
okay.
we need your beards back. But I'm sure you guys don't grow beards for women to be like, I hope she likes my beard. You guys grow your beard because you like it. I would hope you like it for yourself and not because.
Well, no, I mean, there's a part of me that I like facial hair because it's taken me literally till yesterday to grow this shit this long.
Hmm.
I grow hair like a
Hmm.
5-year-old. But then I'm not gonna say that like it is not. I don't know. I guess I'm, and I realize right, you ain't gonna be everybody's cup of tea, right? A girl could come
Hmm.
out and be like, big boobs, big ass. I'm every man's dream. You might find a dude that's like, I don't like big boobs or big ass. I don't know what I would do with all that.
Hmm.
It's fine, right? You ain't gonna be everybody's cup of tea. But I would like to
Right.
think that there's a certain standard for me as a man that I'm like, hey, I know that I look best. You know, like in the same way that like if you're
Hmm.
going to an interview or an audition, you might wear the same thing because it's like we call it a power suit, power dress,
Hmm.
power, you know, like whatever it is that like, hey, if I look this certain way, I feel empowered, and I'm also confident that like other people will like the way that I look if I walk in,
Hmm.
if I have a little bit of facial hair, if my hair is retwisted, right, not just like letting it go crazy, you know, just like there's a certain cosmetic standard that I'm gonna hold myself to that I know is good enough for me and also makes me look appealing to other people as well.
Hmm. Right.
And I
Very
was like,
true.
oh, so okay,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
no, 100%.
Yeah, it
And
does.
I'm just going to step in for just a second. So
Come
I
on,
do
Sarah.
want to clarify, and I think, London, you make a really good point about what natural is, right? So there's beauty trends, makeup, like there's different color lipsticks, there's like bright reds, there's blues, there's all kinds of things. And then there's more natural tones to makeup to make yourself
Hmm.
look there. And then there's also cosmetic surgery to change the construction of your face that's more
Right.
appealing. So I think that as a woman, in different industry or whatever, there's certain things that you do to enhance for a different purpose, right? Like I'm going to go to a club, so I'm probably going to put on a lot more makeup, or I'm going to put on my red lipstick versus if I go to work, I'm probably going to put on a clear gloss on
Mm,
my lips.
mm-hmm.
So for a man, it's like, what do you find that look? I'm not going to wear red lipstick all day, every day.
Mm.
So it's
Right.
like what you find appealing in certain situations versus what somebody's doing on a day to day. I
That's
don't know. I think that's
No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
no, totally fair point, Sarah, and thank you for adding that, right? And London, thank you to you because again, it's so easy for men to sit here and say, well, here's what we like. And honestly, like you say a really, really, really good point when you say like men are gonna get up in arms about it, but we're also the ones that are liking the photos of the women that look like they have the most work done or beat their face to no end to where it's like you clearly don't look like how you looked when you woke up. And as much as we can like dog women and say, well, you look different, we're also the ones that are perpetuating that same stereotype of saying like, oh, but this is the woman that I like. All the women that we're saying that we like do not look natural or
Hmm.
organic, right? And I just
Hmm.
want to thank you for that that dichotomy that you paint between what's organic and what is natural, because natural is an aesthetic, and I don't think it's exactly like a real thing. Maybe to your point,
Hmm.
and organic is a little different. London,
Right.
anything else, man? That I have no other questions. I just thank you so much for not letting men sit here and talk about our opinions about women's beauty standards and not bringing on an authority in beauty standards.
No, I appreciate you guys even having me on here to share. And I will say this too. You know, Cardi B, SZA, and certain artists obviously are gonna maintain their image because they have fans, they have to exude sex appeal. You know, they have an audience. So when you're talking about an artist and how they look versus someone who is just a regular everyday person, but they just happen to like getting those things done, you kind of can't compare the two. They don't have people that they have to entertain all day. You know, they sometimes they do it just solely for themselves, or maybe they do see something that they like on IG, but it's hard to compare someone like that versus Cardi B and SZA. They have to sell these records. They have to make sure that they are maintaining their looks. And if that means getting stuff done, then you know it is what it is. But hope that makes sense.
It makes perfect sense. No, I get it.
Okay.
Everyone got something to sell, so that means I just want to make sure that I heard what you're saying. You're saying men should go out and start getting our bicep surgeries, just get the chest surgery. That way it's permanent. We got to work out. You know what I'm saying? Men out here getting lace fronts now. You know what I'm saying? The
They
balding
are,
men
and
out
you
here.
know what?
Look,
I would have probably never known unless you told me. See, that's the thing. I would say that's natural, not organic.
it's
That's
not organic,
natural.
but it's natural. You
I
said
would have never known.
You said my man was bald, but now he got a whole. My man got locks down to his ass. How the hell that work?
Does he look better now? Does he look
Hey,
better now?
look,
Is
I'm
the
just
hairline
saying.
still receding, or
If you think this is natural, y'all got another thing coming. You know what I'm saying? Or if you think this is organic, it's not. These ends right here. London. Thank you so much for the time, love. I appreciate you so much, sis.
so much.
You know it.
Thank you for having me, guys.
Of course. We'll see you soon. Okay. I'll touch base with you.
See ya.
Do you like incredible musical performances and engaging conversations? Well, we've got both of those things for you right here at Mental Notes Live, the talk show focused on giving you tools to grow your faith, mindset, and progress. Hosted by yours truly, Ryan Hale. Be sure to follow us everywhere on any social media platform at Mental Notes Live, and go catch up on all of our previous episodes by visiting mentalnoteslive.com. Unfiltered Gems Podcast. I am Ryan Hale.
And I'm Malcolm Alexander.
Yes, Malcolm's joining us all the way from the beautiful Cal State University, Northridge.
Go Matadors! Look, every single time I say go, I always go to the Sun Devil because y'all know me and Ryan's affiliation. But it's the Matadors. You see the horns?
Oh, that's the Matadors?
This is the Matadors. Go Matadors! Yo, I feel old up on this campus. But the thing is, the kids love me though. The kids, and clearly I'm old because I'm calling them kids.
Love Uncle Malcolm.
The kids love Uncle Malcolm, man. You like one child. I like them all. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm a fan. No, but these are whole adults, and it was cool. It was an arts festival. You know what I'm saying? So they had all the different departments performing. They had the theater department come up. They had the hip hop squad come up, and just, man, our future is looking bright.
That's good.
I will say that. The future's looking bright.
Be sure on social media, speaking of the future, they're all on social media, as are you.
Yes.
So be sure to visit us at Unfiltered Gems Podcast. Hit that follow button. And if you're watching us on YouTube, as you should be sure to hit that subscribe button and hit the bell for notifications as well. Really quick, though, we would be remiss not to shout out a tragedy that happened over the weekend. With Traci Braxton passing away from cancer, 50 years young, and had a long battle with cancer, and unfortunately passed away. So I know for me and my family watched the Braxton Family Values a lot growing up. That was one show. Obviously, my sister loves to sing, really good, talented singer. So she was watching it for a different reason, but we were just watching it because it just reminded us of, a strong black family. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A good black family, funny black family. All different personalities, all that good stuff. So definitely really sad to lose her, and I know her family is really struggling. So my prayers and condolences are out to her and her family, fans. I know lots of people have been making posts about it, her management team, her husband, her son. So can't imagine what they're going through, but definitely prayers up to the Braxtons and that family.
Yeah, I am going to echo all of that. Sincerest condolences and nothing but prayer and healing energy to the Braxton family. I was not too familiar with the TV show, but of course I know the music. So
yeah, exactly.
I mean, what are we really gonna do? When you have a family that's so important to R&B music, even gospel music, man, they've touched a lot of genres, which is really, really, really cool. And shout out to Babyface, because I don't think the Braxtons would be the Braxtons without Kenneth Babyface Edmonds. So. But not to take away from our tribute here to Miss Traci Braxton. So,
yes, absolutely.
Rest in paradise, rest in eternal power to Queen Traci.
Definitely. Moving on, though, Malcolm, I saw a very interesting video on social media today, actually just before the show. I'm not sure exactly where this school is located. But what you will see, if you haven't seen it already, is something that is sure to go viral here sooner than later. But it's a video of a white kid in a lunchroom, crowded lunchroom. And he goes up to a black kid, throws cotton, I believe maybe cotton balls, at him, and then uses a black belt to whip him a few times before the boy gets up and retaliates. maybe even a little less harsh than I would have, just by pushing him into
a little less. So. Maybe. But look, you and I are not the same person. I understand. Sorry.
Just
go ahead.
a little less.
Just a little less. Continue.
I'm trying to be.
Sorry.
I'm exaggerating greatly.
Oh no, please. You're being a measured journalist. Go ahead and report. Fine, sir. I'm so sorry for interrupting you.
Man, bro, but I can't lie. What that reminded me of, that video, obviously we'll dive in and kind of get your thoughts and everything. But instantly when I saw that video, what I thought about is when I was in the 6th or 7th grade. I don't know if I've ever told you this story. 6th or 7th grade, I went to a predominantly white school. I was one of very few black kids in the school. And I just remember walking in the hall after class towards going to my other class, and getting blindsided, pushed from behind by a white kid who walked over me and called me a nigger, right? So that's what that reminded me of, and just feeling like, because if you watch the video, there's not a lot of black kids in that video, so it must be a predominantly white school, if I'm just assuming here. But I can imagine how he's feeling just being that nigger, if you will, in the middle of all of those white people, right? As they walk past me or as they laugh in a lunchroom, you know what I mean? Like it's a very uncomfortable and an uneasy feeling, especially at such a young age. Yeah. So I can't really imagine. I know it's easy for me to say now, almost 30 years old, what I would have done. But thinking back to when I was 13, 14, 15 years old, it's different to say what you would have done 14, 15 years later. You know what I mean? Totally. So first off, obviously, what's your thoughts on the video? I know where you're probably going to go with that. But after that, like, do you have a similar situation, or how do you think you would have reacted in that situation? What's your thoughts?
You already know, man. I'm one who I always want to, like, how I cope, my defense mechanism, how I cope with any kind of trauma, right, is always jokes. Not even saying that I'm a comedian, but just as, like, happy-go-lucky ass Malcolm. It's always comedy, and it's like, the only comedy I can think of is the things that I, would have done to him, right? You know what I'm saying? Like talking about to the kid to the white kid who threw the cotton and acted as if to whip, right? And so it was an act, right? It wasn't hard. He literally did it, and I think that's what was more pestering and more vile. Is that I would have much rather you call me a nigger in an attempt to beat the shit out of me, right? Right? Because then my experience with racism is that it's seldom ever overt, right? As maybe your situation, right? I'm the kid, and this is more of a metaphor, but I'm the kid at the Kanye concert when MJ gone, and I'm the only one that looks like me around, and every white kid around me gets to say, "I nigga dead," and give me the look like we outnumber you. And that's what's so insidious about, I think, the racism, especially when you go to a PWI. And the kind of shit that I had to deal with, right, is because it's going to be the racism that's actually more passive-aggressive, more covert, and it gives more ammunition to the rest of the kids or the rest of the people there, the rest of the perpetrators, to just gaslight you and say, well, it's just words. Well, like, I really didn't hit you. Oh, well, why are you being so sensitive? Or just give the ammunition to then patronize me and say, oh, I'm being the aggressive black man if I beat the living shit out of you. Because I promise you, in the few times that I've ever resorted to violence to deal with something, it hasn't even been at racism. I will tell you the one time that I resorted to, like, sincere, because words are words, but what that kid did, that was so much more than words.
Yeah. Oh, without a doubt.
It was so much more than words. And so y'all already know, if that would have happened to any of us, especially at our big ages, the kid would have had his ass beat. And I don't care. If I would remove, if I was the parent, I would have said, you beat his ass, right? Because don't worry, we gonna transfer you to a different school. You ain't got to worry about it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Let the principal, let the security fight you. Let something happen. You ain't got to worry about getting reprimanded here at home.
Exactly.
I would have taken him out to Ruth Chris. And I would have bought you a steak for every black eye. And I know you only got 2 black eyes, but you know what I'm saying. But I would for every hit he would have got, a good shot he would have gotten on that kid for doing it. He would have got a steak for that. You know what I'm saying? But that's what it is. It's ammunition for you to gaslight and say, well, it's not that big of a deal, right? And even if you're gonna make it that big of a deal, we outnumber you. And I think of all the times when I worked in corporate and had my experience as a black person gaslit and reduced, right? Because viral videos go crazy. And I've been there in a corporate office where, because a video said nigga in it, the office is then implored to say, oh, well, I'm just saying what the video said.
Right.
And how aggravated I was. And how, because it's a corporate setting, it's not school, but it's a corporate setting, I can't get angry, right? I get angry, I give y'all exactly what you want. I'm now the angry black man. It's so fucking frustrating, dude. This shit was this shit
infuriating.
This shit is like, it's not even depressing. It's not even sad. It's just infuriating.
Infuriating.
That we're in a time where like that shit is still okay. And I don't care, man. You already know I'm very peace and blessings. We got to worry about your anger. Let's target anger. No, hell, if you're mad, let's put that anger. I'm sorry. If some shit like that happens to you and you a black, you got my permission to beat they ass. Beat it. And quite frankly, they should pass a state law in every state that if somebody want to press you like that, black people, even, you know what, and go ahead, get fresh and try to pick on my Chicano brothers and sisters. You know what I'm saying? Throw a tortilla at them. That's what I saw happen. Literally, I remember like they threw tortillas at a Mexican kid growing up. And I'm one of those, look, you want to get fresh? There should be a law, school rule. You want to press a racist issue? That kid should be able to beat they ass. Here, you know what? Take it to the octagon for all I care. Make it organized. That way it's not a campus fight. Say clearly, Kevin, you're a racist motherfucker. And I don't know what this young black king, but we're going to call him young black king. So it's Kevin and young black king. So in order to settle this, we're going to put you guys into the octagon after school today, and that's where you're going to settle our differences.
Right.
And they should have every right to beat their ass. If I was a parent, if you would have got home and said you didn't beat his ass, that's when he'd be in trouble. I'd be like, the fuck you mean? Well, clearly we going over to, I drive over. We going over to Kevin's house then. Let me introduce myself to his parents.
That's what I was going to ask you. Do you think this is more of a family issue? Do you think this is more of a school issue? Like, do we need to see more critical race theory, black history taught in schools? Do we need to see more, I don't even know what you can do at somebody's home. That's tough, but where do you think this, how do we see less of these issues? And I know the onus is not on us as black people to try to create less of these issues, but I'm saying, what do you think, as if we're speaking for the education system, since this did happen in the school, how can we make PWIs, for example, more safer for our black brothers and sisters, our young black brothers and sisters who are going through that? Because like I said, and you shared your story as well, but I don't think you can really understand that unless you actually live it. And we've said this before, the black experience can't be explained. You have to experience it. So, and the same thing is going to a PWI as a young black student. Like, you don't really, there's no real way to explain how to deal with that unless you're actually living through it, or if you've lived through it. You get what I'm saying? So being two people who have lived through it, like, what advice would you give them? I know for me, it would just be,
you're saying advice to the black kids or to the white kids, or advice to the school?
Advice to the school more so, but then also advice to the black kids themselves who feel like, who may watch this video and are like, man, what would I do if this happened to me, or this has happened to me before, or something like that. You know what I mean?
I
know it's tough.
I got nothing for you. To be honest, like my advice, my advice is an open arm, dude. Because like I remember feeling so alienated after years of being in the same school district. I'm talking about the latter part of high school, and I probably shared the story on the podcast before. This is probably not my first time talking about this, but having to hear my mom, like, she just saw me like I probably seemed like an anxiety attack. Like, if in retrospect, I didn't know what it was, but it's like, why was I crying uncontrollably? I don't remember. Nothing happened that day. Or maybe it did and I just repressed it. I don't know. But like, all I remember is like kind of coming to and being in the kitchen with my mom and her telling me, one day you are going to culminate and it's going to happen in college. She like manifested it for me, right? She claimed it for me. She said like, you are going to find solace and you're going to find a home around people that look like you. And she goes, I know it's really hard now. And the only reason that she identified with it is because my mom spent her high school here in South Orange County, California. Like, maybe in the early 80s, it wasn't Trump country, but it was exactly what it is now. It was conservative as hell. You know, she's the only black person, you know what I'm saying? You know, my mom will tell me all the time about time that she would have braids and come there and the teacher would say, yeah, you can't have braids here because it's distracting the class. No, you racist dumbass. You just don't like black people.
Exactly.
That's what it is. And so I don't have advice outside of maybe having like just an open arm and an open heart, open arms and an open heart for black kids that have to deal with this kind of adversity. My advice to the school is that kid that did that should not be able to study. And no, this is not going to be the white savior movie where, you know, I'm going to turn into the black thought leader and no, we need to educate the young man. No, that nigga gets that shit from his parents.
Yeah, he need to be homeschooled.
He need to be homeschooled. How about you go you go and take that over to Full Sail University or whatever online uncredited university Trump funds. You take that shit over there. That's my advice. Nothing should happen to the black kid because the poor black kid was sitting there.
No, absolutely not.
And naturally nothing is going to happen. And I hope that somehow he's able to keep a low pro. I think another part that sucks for the black kid is that I feel like he's going to have to change schools just from like the publicity that's now on him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really feel from a man's mental health because it's not enough that kind of thing happens maybe when we were in high school, but it's like now it happens and this shit's going to go viral. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to see him on Ellen next week and, hey, we'll talk about what happened when Ellen's going to, well, here's a giveaway to Chick-fil-A and to make because chicken makes everything, you know, feel better. Like who said he wanted all that attention? Not just the virality part, but then of course the racial attention, you know, that comes with it. I think the white kid should be expelled and the school needs to do, it's beyond critical race theory. It's so far beyond it.
It is.
It's so because it's like, cool, you're gonna do more teaching of black history. You're gonna the racist jokes are just gonna get more nuanced. You know what I'm saying? Instead of a chicken joke, you gonna make a Fela Kuti joke because you know niggas love Fela Kuti. Like, I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's critical race theory ain't gonna make somebody who's racist and a bigot not any less racist or bigoted.
Right.
So I think my only advice is that the school needs to reprimand Kevin to no end. Like, it's not okay because I'm telling you right now, his parents ain't gonna do shit. His parents at home talking about, well, what'd you do to that nigga, huh? Did you get him?
Right.
I hope so, Kevin. And take that country ass on. Shit sucks, man. Shit sucks that, like, even in this young generation, you think that, like, we're beyond it. You know what I'm saying? There was a point we almost thought, like, Gen Z, they're good, man. They focus on bigger problems. You know what I'm saying? They trying to solve what's happening in World War III. They ain't worried about racism. And then you see some shit like that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm y'all know I'm not a violent person, man, but just you do some shit like that to me, I'm trying to just imagine if someone did that to me right now. Man. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm one to
think about it.
Yeah, like I'm one to, like, you know what, I'll read you for a minute. Like, let me open up the library. I'll give you a proper tongue lashing before I ever put my hands on you. Know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, a tongue lashing from me will hurt your feelings and make it fuck with you way longer than me beating your ass. You know what I'm saying? Like, sincerely, the way I deal out a good tongue lashing. But I'm just trying to imagine if that would have just happened to me somewhere right now and someone thought it was okay. Like, haha. Throw it on, and who knows? Like, I want to know even deeper their relationship because they have to have known each other. They have to have a class together. There had to be a study. There had to be something that was happening. You know, I don't know what it is, man. But really want to pray for the Black King's family and for him. And I hope that he not only gets like peace and like serenity, you know what I'm saying, outside of all the attention this video is getting right now. But I hope that he finds justice within himself and fairness within himself to keep moving on, and maybe from the school as well, as far as what they can do to reprimand old maggot Kevin. That's gonna be his name, maggot Kevin.
Stay strong, Black kids. Stay strong. Stay strong. It'll get better for sure. On to
that makes me so sad. I'm so sorry. A quick moment. Damn, that's exactly like that's exactly what my I'm a nigga. God damn. That's what my mom told me. Yeah, my mom told me.
I was there.
She said it gets better.
Happier.
Oh my god.
On to a happier note. Happier note. Another trendy topic on social that I've been seeing over the past week is a very, very interesting question. So, of course, I had to bring it to the podcast and ask you, Malcolm, in the world, what is there more of, doors or wheels?
I'm sorry, is this a trick question?
Nope, not a trick question.
Am I being graded?
Nope.
Okay, I'm going to go off simple science in that there were doors potentially before there were wheels. So there's been more time to make, but there's four wheels. But it depends, like, who said that all things need four wheels. But it just depends. That's for a car or like a buggy.
But look at
you
this.
Don't need.
Yeah, on a car even there's four doors usually.
But not always. But usually there are four doors.
Yeah.
It depends.
On houses there's rarely wheels.
So I'm going to say more doors. There's more doors in the wheels. More doors in the wheels. I'm going to say there's more doors in the world than there are wheels.
I would agree. I think there's 100% more doors than wheels.
So what's the point?
I don't even know how this is a debate, if I'm being honest with you. Because
okay, then wheels.
Easy.
Then wheels. And in this essay, I will defend why there are more wheels in the world. So if you look at the Flintstones, right, you see there since prehistoric
they didn't even have
times,
wheels. They used their feet.
But it was on wheels. Think about it. Remember, there was wheels on the outside of it. You know what I'm saying? So we've been fucking with wheels since prehistoric times. You know what I'm saying?
It's doors for sure.
Where did this come from? I want to know. There has to be something deeper here.
I have no idea. I've just been seeing it on TikTok. I've been seeing it on social media. They brought it up. They even brought up to one of my favorite shows, which is Inside the NBA on TNT with Charles Barkley, Shaq, Ernie, Kenny. They were talking about it. So it's been everywhere, man. It's been everywhere.
And what do people say? Are there more doors?
I've been hearing people say wheels and doors. It's been a little mixed.
But I need to know the right answer. Like, I need to know how we are here.
That's the thing. I don't even know if you. That's probably something that you'll never get the right answer to. It's just like back in the day when they had that dress and people were like, "Oh, is it pink or blue?" You remember that?
Oh, you mean it was gold or blue? It was like the silver. Yeah. It was obviously gold. It was white and gold. It was not blue. Like anyone that thought blue was dead wrong and needs to have their mental checked. And I will be admitting.
See, that's how I feel about this doors and wheels thing.
I will be admitting it's clearly doors. And if you say anything to contradict that, then I will be admitting you to Arkham Asylum, where you will be seen for deteriorating mental health. Arkham Asylum. We're going to take your ass right over to Arkham, man. We got to deal with this properly. This is very scary.
That's hilarious.
That's all I got. I just don't know. I'm worried about you. If y'all, for the people listening, if y'all think that they're, doors or wheels, what do you think there's more of in the world? We want to hear from you. We are at Unfiltered Gems Podcasts everywhere. I was trying to say, todo donde? Is it everywhere?
I don't know.
All everywhere? I don't know. My bad. Idea. My bad. Okay, you know what? We gotta.
I just said I went to a PWI. I don't know nothing about no Spanish.
What I'll say is that our college was a PWI. My high school was a PWMI.
Oh, okay. No, mine was a PWI for sure in high school too.
You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like that is what has brought me to to this place now because people be pulling up places that if you speak Spanish, they're like, "Oh, you Dominican, Dominicano?" I say, no, sir. I am just black. They're like, "But you speak Spanish." Because I grew up in Corona, all right? Like, it was like you had to I had to learn something. You know what I'm saying? I had to learn something being around, my Mexican brothers and sisters. You know what I'm saying? I had to learn something. Hilarious. So might as well learn albondigas, learn menudo, learn pozole. Learn abuelita because that's who's going to be cooking it for you. So my entry into all cultures starts with the food, baby. Starts with the food and starts with grandma. I can say grandma in a lot of different languages because that's always who I want to stay with when I go anywhere. I go to Korea, Hajima, come on, give me the tteokbokki, give me the halamian. Give me, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want all that. So that's about all the podcasts we got for today, y'all. Hale, you got anything else?
No, I got nothing.
Sarah, you got anything else?
Sarah has nothing.
Okay, cool. Things I want to check out. As we've stated numerous times at the podcast, at Unfiltered Gems Podcast everywhere, of course, get over to the YouTube and please, 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 please subscribe. Even if you don't even listen on the YouTube, I want to give a quick shout out. Once again, we shouted her out on the last pod. She's going to get the love again. Shout out to Kylie, because I didn't even tell you, Hale. Kylie told me at the end of the week. The podcast that went up last week on YouTube did not have audio.
All right.
It had my audio, didn't have yours. And when I went back to the Premiere file and I checked it, you weren't muted. It's just the way it exported. Wow. So you could literally, so I was like, did I miss something? Nope, just ghetto working computers. So it was really cool because there wasn't a lot of views on it, but then I uploaded it yesterday and got it up in full audio, and we got more views in that time than the whole week. So if some of you missed last week on YouTube, run it back because we just posted it and it's brand new. So y'all can get a double dose of UG on YouTube this week between this episode and the last episode. So thank y'all once again for listening. My name is Malcolm Alexander.
And I'm Ryan Hale. We'll see you guys next week.
Peace.